My most valuable lesson is a very hard thing to quantify. There are lots of different things that I've learned in different ways from different people. I'd say my most valuable lesson from my violin teachers was that balance is very important. So you have to balance technique with musicality. You have to have good technique in order to bring the music across. You have to have good musical ability, and this is all stuff you can work on. You have to have good musical ability in order for the technique to be free enough to work. And I think just the idea that everything is interrelated, where you do this to contrast, where you go in this direction with your interpretation, you have to counter it or balance it by going in this direction. And this whole idea of balance and evenness in music is really crucial, because if you don't have that, you can't go onwards with expression. So that was a very important thing for me to learn through all the years I was studying. It was something that was consistently taught to me by Mrs. Berkovich and Mr. Brodsky, and even my colleagues. I see that in my colleagues a lot too, and I learned from them as well. So that's the musical side of things. As far as the most valuable lesson about being a professional musician, I think just the exposure to musicians when I was younger who were doing orchestra work, who were doing, some had gone into music administration, some were chamber musicians, some were soloists, conductors, composers. I was really fortunate to be around this large community of musicians of all kinds, and I could see what their lives were like. I could see how they solved things that I was trying to solve, and I could ask them about what their advice would be for me at a certain point, or just hear their stories. And I learned so much through that, just being in that community of people. And let's see, most valuable lesson I've learned about traveling would be something that I've just come to on my own, which is, I guess, something my mom has always said to me, which is make sure you get enough sleep. So I always try to get enough sleep. I remember to brush my teeth. I try to eat 3 meals a day, and I try to live a healthy life and go out and exercise when I can. So I think taking care of yourself is really important in any field, and I've learned that through many different trials and errors. There is no shortcut around taking care of yourself. And there's really no shortcut to being a musician either. So you just have to keep working at it and keep learning lessons.